Alrighty, y'all. We are live once again. We're back at it, doing a similar sort of vibe to the last live I did, pop-up style. We're going to be starting with the compound bow. I haven't shot since I did the last live. So we're going to go out there, get some reps in with compound. Obviously, we got to keep up with that and all our other stuff. We're also going to take the Atlatl out there. I'm going to update you guys on some of the work I did on the range back there, that little section where I have my range. Been doing some work trying to open it up a little bit and get it prepared for next week when we're going to do something super fun. Yeah, we might as well also take like a saw back there and maybe do some work. We'll see what today holds. We got to get the bow set up. We'll take the Atlatl, the bow, the target, all that back there, do some work, and then I'll start getting some stuff ready towards the end of this live. We are going up to the lake house, so I got to grab a couple things, and I guess I'll put together the outdoor gear on live with you guys to close it out. But yeah, let's get the bow ready. It's definitely getting colder than it was a couple weeks ago. I got like full sweatshirt out. I have short sleeves on underneath still, but I don't go with a sweatshirt consistently until it gets down to like high of 50 during the day. Thanks, Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew was one of the people who helped push me over 1,000 subscribers. I'm now over 1,000. I'll talk about that later on in the live today. I was in on one of Randy's lives, and Randy's lives, and I mentioned that I was super close, and then his community helped push me over. So thanks to Randy and the squad. Matt Kozlinski in here, that's my uncle, an awesome member. He lives in Colorado. He's mentioning my hat because him and his aunt gave me that hat. All right, let's go grab the bow. Yeah, we're going to grab the bow, the Atlatl. That's going to be the main thing for today, and then we'll just do some packing to go to the lake house. Thanks, Matt. It's cool. I'll talk about some interesting developments around that in a moment. It's kind of funny, but yeah. All right, here's the bow. As always, show you guys what I got because I know people come in here and have never seen this before. Oh, all right. So we need a couple of arrows. I think I'll go with 5 today. 5 arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pop them out of the arrow rack, just like that. Get my release on. All right, there we go. That's the slot I want. Yeah, there you go. Pull the bow out, stabilize the bars. Cole Region's in. Thanks for coming in. Cole Region is one of the many awesome people who I met at the Random Adventures 2.0 YouTube Outdoor Creator Meetup. That was pretty cool. I met lots of cool people there. Some people who I knew before just had never met in person, and a lot of people who I'd never known before. Cole Region's one of those, and I'm super glad to know him now. So, Raptor Will, another awesome member who's in here. Sometimes words don't work well. All right, yeah, deer season is practically here. I'm not taking this bow out for deer this year. This year I'm going to be doing some squirrel hunting in the winter, assuming everything works out, just to get the channel and me introduced to the hunting stuff. The only hunting stuff I've ever done, I've never done actually hunting and harvesting. All I've done is there's some invasive birds and chipmunks that I've taken out on like my grandpa's property and the property up the lake because the chipmunks were eating wires. They just needed to be removed. I've done that before. And I've also done the same thing with some invasive birds who were causing some damage. I've never done hunting and harvesting, so the first thing I'm going to do is squirrel. And then next year I'm gonna go for deer with the bow. I'm pretty decent with it now, but I want to make sure I'm like really, really locked in, dialed in before I take down a deer with this. You don't want to be missing shots, injuring animals. I want to be super prepared for when that happens. So. Yeah, we're gonna do like an intro for me and the channel of hunting and harvesting with squirrels this winter. That's the plan at least. Tony Hamilton says hi, thanks for coming in. Brody Weiss, I think. I'm having trouble reading that. Do you fish? Yes, I do. That's the main, we'll call it the main thing I do on the channel. We'll walk on over here. You got all them, and then there's more up on the ceiling. I do lots of fishing. I fish for about everything you can think of. That's kind of where the channel started, and then that's where my outdoor journey started, and I branched out from there. And now the channel's called Mission Discover because I just love to experiment, try different things. I take you guys through my journey and how I'm learning, share my learning experience with you guys, so that way you guys can learn along with me. I can share my experiences. I'm not an expert, but I'm good at explaining what I'm doing, and I like to share my highs and lows with you guys so you guys can figure out some stuff along the way as well. But yeah, I started with fishing. Now I've obviously branched out into lots of other things, but fishing is still like the core of this channel. That's where it started, and that's kind of where a lot of it's always going to be centered around. And a fish. There you go. That motor Peter kid. Interesting. All right, so we got the bow, and then the other thing we're going to take over there is the Atlatl. If you haven't seen this, it's pretty sweet. So this is my Atlatl. These ancient spears and this wooden piece. I built this in a previous video. All of this was built by scratch. This is one of the oldest weapons for hunting and war that people like that is in recorded history. So I built one. It's one of the most fun things ever. Yeah, we're gonna be messing around with this and the bow for the first part of the live today. A shark, 350 pounds. There you go. I got some sharks, some big rays, all that sort of stuff. What state you from? Pennsylvania. Mr. Wigless. Yeah, I think that's it. I just got a bow. Sweet. Nancy says, I like the primitive stuff. There you go. Well, then you'll like the Atlatl. The Atlatl's super fun. I have a video of me building this and testing this up on the channel. It's 5 or 6 videos back, something like that. But yeah, it was a really fun project. Good stuff. It's fun to use too. So we'll leave that there. We'll take over the bow. And we'll take over the targets, because I use a different target for the Atlatl than I do for the bow. We'll take those over, and yeah, and then I'll come back for this. Thanks for the content. Well, there you go. Duck hunting, that's another thing I want to do eventually. Yeah. All that stuff I want to do. I just need to, just because I want to make sure people know where I stand on it, and I want to be an advocate for doing it the right way. Hold on here. Regrip. There we go. I want to make sure that I emphasize the right way to do hunting stuff when I get there. Like, I'm doing this for a way to put food on the table. I'm not doing this just because it's fun. It is fun, but it's a way to put food on the table. It's more sustainable than actual like farming for food, as far as like farming like farm raised chickens or whatever. Like, this is more sustainable. That's why I'm doing it. This isn't just me wanting to go out there and get a deer. There's more behind that. Ghost hunting. That is not on the radar. All right, so we got the bow hangers over here. Tony Hamilton says, I wish more youngsters listened to you and followed you rather than doing drugs and getting in trouble. That's good, yeah. A lot better stuff to do. Chick magnet says deer. There you go. That's right. Such an interesting name. Q&A, many or few. It's giving me these options of like things to do a Q&A about. So weird. I didn't say anything about toppings on pizza, but it's trying to get me to ask you guys about toppings on pizza. All right. Yeah, so I cleared out this whole region. You guys probably can't see it from this view, but if you were watching the other day, there was some brush right there that I took down, and then past where my targets typically sit, I took out more brush so I can have a wide open zone all the way down there. But yeah, there's still some more work to be done on it. Yeah, it is a new feature. It's just like I don't know why it's asking me about that in particular. Yeah, there's still some more work to be done, but I'm trying to expand the range. I can only shoot out to about 30 yards, or have been only able to shoot out to about 30 yards with what it was like. I'm trying to get out to 40 if I can, just back here. And then if I want to go further than that, or do some more specific stuff, I got the public range. But it's not like far, but just being able to do it back here is nice. And if I can get out to 40 yards back here, that's a big deal for me. So I'm gonna go put the target down there, and then I'll go grab the other stuff from the house. Alrighty, so I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi because it's somehow still connected to my house. Alright, we're back in business. So, hopefully you can see the target down there, maybe. It's right there, right in the corner, over there. I'm gonna go grab the Atlatl from up by the house. I'll leave you guys here. We got a couple mods in here, so we're good to go. I don't like to leave it unattended without mods in here, but yeah, I'm just gonna go grab that real quick. I'll be back in like a minute and a half. Alrighty. Talk amongst yourselves. Yep. Alright, we got the other target. We got the Atlatl. We got the arrows. 42 people in here. Thanks, guys. Alright. Yeah, 5 arrows. We got the Atlatl. Matt K 98. Here you go. Got the meetings of the Matt Ks. Meetings. It's a singular meeting. Multiple Matt Ks. Alright, this target is going to go closer. check out what I found. I'm gonna do some more content on this type of stuff when the spring rolls around, but I've always loved this kind of stuff. I moved that log to try to use it as a backstop for my target. Look what I found. It's a salamander. I think that's an eastern slimy salamander. Don't go into my release. All right, I'm gonna move you so I don't step on you, buddy. Get back there. There you go. But yeah, I always love just seeing the nature stuff and those little critters. They've always been interesting. And I used to know a lot about them. I still remember most of the stuff, but it's been a long time since I've been into that. But yeah, eastern slimy salamander, redback salamander. There's some cool ones around here. From Scotland. There you go. Now I've got at least 2 viewers from Scotland. One of my other members, Stuart, is from Scotland. Alrighty. We got targets set up. That's the yellow and green one back there. I know it's bright. That one right there. That guy. Is set up at 20 yards. We're gonna do a couple cold shots. I always love to do some cold shots, just see what I'm like. No warm up, no nothing. Haven't shot the bow at all today, haven't even drawn it back. Let's see what my shot placement is. This is always a good bearing to see like what your progress is like. That was good. It is super weird, which there's 2 things that could be happening, and it's probably a mixture of both. I'm not like getting stronger per se, but I'm getting more used to how the draw cycle of this particular bow feels. So even though it's still 65 pounds, it feels a lot lighter. There you go. That one was also good. And it's also settling in, so the strings are probably stretched a bit. It's probably not quite 65 pounds anymore, because this is still a fairly new bow. Oh yeah, I just can't count. But yeah, like each draw cycle, the draw cycle for each bow is always a little bit different. Loose grip on your bow, you'll have a tighter. Yeah. Here, I'll put you sideways. Everybody always comments on this, but it's because you're viewing behind me. I'll put you here. I discovered this last archery live. You guys can see my form a lot better. So yeah, check it out. I'm pushing through the palm of my hand. These fingers, they're only there for support. They're not actually pulling on the bow. This one, it's locked in. It's my back tension. It's not my arm. Then we sit here and you slowly lay on that trigger. And kind of just let it follow through. There you go. So yeah, people always comment on that. People are like, oh, your elbow isn't bent at all. Both of those things aren't true. It's just when you view it from behind me, you can't tell any of those things. So there you go. I always like to show people because it looks a lot, I mean, you can attest to this. It looks a lot different from this view as it does to behind me. You can't tell as much from there, but you can see the target. So I switch back and forth throughout the live. What kind of bow is it? It is an Elite Terrain. I think that's all backwards. Elite Terrain, because I'm using the selfie camera. But there you go. There's a squirrel over there. But yeah, 2 more shots, then we'll do a little set with the Atlatl. I've never tried to throw the Atlatl with the release still on my hand, so that might be wacky. We'll see how that goes. What did I miss? Just got home from getting gas. Not much, Will. We're gonna do a little bit of shooting with the bow just to keep up with it. Squirrel, yep. And we're gonna throw the Atlatl a bit, and then we're gonna pack up for the upcoming lake house trip. That one's dead in the middle. I was a little punchy there, but my follow through was good enough to make up for it. We're only from 20 yards, so I have some wiggle room and form. I'm not saying that's good, I'm saying it still worked out. Do I have peep sights? Yeah. Peep sight, you line it up with the ring on my front sight. Give a good shout out to whoever taught you and give him a pat on the back because you're on your way. Good job. Well, thank you. I had lots of good teachers. I talked to some good people at Lancaster Archery Supply, and my girlfriend's dad was a competitive target archer. So they both had a big part in teaching me, and then good old YouTube did some too, but they're probably the two biggest people. Some of the techs at Lancaster Archery, my girlfriend's dad, both very good resources to use in terms of shooting form and assistance. That one's good too. All those are good shots. Is your bow arm supposed to be that bent? Yeah, well, it's supposed to be bent, but it's probably appearing more bent than it actually is because this is a fairly large sweatshirt. Here, it's actually getting warmer as I speak, so I'll take off my sweatshirt and you guys can see my actual arm as opposed to the sweatshirt. That'll probably help you see what's going on a little bit better. We don't need the sweatshirt right now. All right. Keep practicing, you're going to go far. Well, thanks. I'm trying. The whole thing with this channel is I'm like the definition of a jack of all trades, master of none. So as long as I'm pretty decent at everything I do, I'm very happy. If I can shoot decently well, if I can shoot better than average, then I'm in a good spot because I'm not a bow guy. If I can be a pretty darn good fisherman, I'm happy because I don't do just fishing. I used to, but I don't do just fishing anymore. So I might be a little bit rusty compared to what I used to be. If I can be a good bushcrafter, then I'm happy because I don't do just bushcrafting. I just like to be a well-rounded outdoorsman. If I can be one of the most well-rounded outdoorsmen on YouTube, that's a good thing because I just want to be able to do a little bit of everything, enjoy the outdoors no matter what it gives me to work with. But yeah, let's go down and show you the group here. There's 5 dots on here and I shot 5 shots at 5 different dots. I'm a poet. They all hit the dot. They were all generally a tad right, which might just be, it could be one of two things. I'm not holding the peep sight completely centered or my windage is slightly off, something like that, but they're all in the dot, which to me is all that matters. There you go. You can see them. They're all in the dot. That one's 1/2 inch from middle. That one's about 3/4, maybe just over half. That one's about a full inch, so that was the worst shot. But if you are hitting the deer an inch from where you're aiming, that's still perfectly acceptable shot. That'll down the deer for you and not injure the animal. We want to be respectful. We want to be responsible people when I go out there and take the deer. So those would all be good, responsible shots. So could be twisting the string. Yeah, that's also true. As I said, this bow's now 2.5 months old and I haven't got it retuned since I got it. So it's starting to settle in. It's probably going to be time to tune it up again soon because after that initial settle in period, you need to get a couple little things adjusted. So that might be something I do here shortly. Hey, Skeeter, another member in here. Or Skeeter used to be a member, but he's still a mod. Skeeter's a good guy. It doesn't matter whether he's a member or not, I still appreciate him. 10-inch kill zone on a whitetail. So yeah, an inch margin, which was my worst out of the 5 shots, is still darn good. And that's from 20 yards, which is a pretty like typical shot that you'd get at a deer if you needed to take it. 20 yards is a fairly reasonable thing to be like, yeah, I could get that. Oh my goodness, the salamander's still back here. All right, so I'm gonna attempt to throw it without taking the release back off. What I think I'm gonna do is just tuck it underneath and see if it stays when I throw it. I don't know, we shall see. I think it'll stay. It feels like it's gonna stay. We'll see. But we got that target right there for the Atlatl. That one right there. I mentioned this before. We had 80 people in here for a moment. That was pretty sweet. But this is an ancient spear thrower that people used to use for hunting and war. I built one. There's a video about me building this out on the channel if you haven't seen it before. It's pretty sweet. Someone's car alarm going off in the next development over there. But yeah, I've gotten decent with this thing. It's one of the most fun things to mess around with. So we're gonna, it's a short target, but we got that target laying down there, right there, that one. We're gonna see if we can hit that. First throw of the day. 107 people in here, that's awesome. Form is good, shooting's getting tighter, doing a great job. Thanks, Woodsman. Just low, it hit a little bit of brush right in front of it, which probably threw off the shot a tad. But see if we can get it in two. Just left of it. We're a little bit rusty. I haven't touched this in 2 weeks or so. So, all right. What would be really fun is if we get warmed up, get dialed in on the shorter target, we can move this one all the way out to where the bow target is too. And see if we can hit one out at like 20, 30 yards with the Atlatl. That'd be fun. And the release is staying in place, so good to know I don't have to take it off in between, switching between them. That'd be kind of annoying. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Hit the top and bounced up and over. If you were hunting me, I wouldn't be worried. With this, yeah, me neither. This isn't the accurate one, but you weren't in here when I was shooting the bow. I'd be worried for you then. This is thousands, this form of spear thrower is thousands of years old. It's pretty sweet though, fun. We made contact, we just got to get it a little bit more central. There you go, that one's in there. Stuck it. So down, stare at the target, throw the ball. Yeah. As always, I mentioned this on previous lives, my accuracy, whether it be with the bow or with the Atlatl or slingshot, anything I do, is slightly decreased on lives because my focus is always interrupted by chatting with you guys, but we still get it. I like the throwing quicker too with the Atlatl because it's kind of like throwing a football. It's like throwing on the run. I did a short of that recently, by the way, me throwing the Atlatl on the run. It was pretty fun. All right, but that one, we nailed it on that one. Let's go show you that. And then we'll switch back to the bow for a couple shots, come back to the Atlatl. I think I am gonna move it out a little bit further, just for the fun of it. But here it is, stuck it right in there. We are gonna retrieve the spears. One of them went way, way back there. It's probably 30 yards down range because it bounced up and over. It's past where the bag target for the archery is. But yeah, gonna grab this guy, remove him, and then go grab both the spears, move this guy down there, and get back to archery for a minute. That's probably fine. It can sit there. Nancy says, hi, hope all is well. Thanks for coming in. All's fantastic. We're having a good time out here today. So, because the release luckily stayed in place when I did all that, it's still on my hand. We're gonna do 2 shots from behind me so you can see the target downrange. And then we'll do the next 3, two or three this way and then 2 or 3 the other way so you can see my form. We're gonna switch back and forth. More for distance anyway. Yeah, hard to throw and hit anything up close. Yeah, no, it's more fun to throw it far because you can see it arc. It's not like, when you're super close, it's too fast. You can't barely see it. But if I throw it far, you guys will be able to see it arc downrange, which will be kind of fun. All right, let's grab the bow. As I said, we'll do 2 this way from you guys sitting behind me. you can see it downrange, and then we'll show you my form on the next couple. So, all right. It's in the dot once again. Haven't missed the dot yet. Now that I said that, we'll probably miss the dot this one. Where are you? I am in Pennsylvania. Specifically, I'm in this little plot of woods behind my house where I've set up like a little mini range for my shooting sports. That one's good. That one's in. It is so funny because the last time I did a live, that was my 4th day in a row shooting. And I shot at least 70 shots each time. And now just drawing it back and holding it generally is pretty easy for me, but it definitely takes a toll on you. I'm holding much more, sorry, I was distracted, so I was gonna let it down. I'm holding much more steady than I did the last time I was shooting on live because I'm just not as tired. It's phenomenal. You don't realize how much your body's like tired from doing it that many days in a row, but it's tired, and I'm holding much more steady today, and it's much easier to hit where I'm aiming because I'm not wobbling as much. That one's in the dot. The old slingshot will get the close-up shots, that's right. All right, now for the last two, we'll show you my form from this side. So you guys won't be able to see the target, but you'll be able to see my form, which a lot of people like seeing that as well. So we'll get you both of them. How's the minute hold? We want to do another minute hold? Should we do it? We're gonna draw it back, hold it for a whole minute, and then take the shot. On my end, the time says 32 minutes, 22 seconds. We'll draw it back at 32:40, hold it for a minute, and then release the shot, see how it goes. We did this last time. It will definitely tone up the shoulders. Yeah, I was doing some lateral raises today too. I lift, which is why, like, you know, even though I hadn't done this much before, I could draw a 65-pound bow, no problem. Like, this is 65 pounds, not a problem for me. But shot after shot after shot for hundreds of shots definitely makes it tough. So I drew it back 15 seconds ago. Will you shoot in the Olympics? No. I got a text covering my screen now, so I can't see the time. We are 25 seconds in. We'll hold it for a minute, then take our shot, see how it is. We are, what's that? We're now 40 seconds in, 20 more seconds to hold, and then we'll take a shot. Ten seconds left. Three, two, one. Now I gotta aim. It's probably an inch outside. Not terrible. Not great, but as I said, Woodsman was telling us earlier, 10-inch kill radius on a whitetail. That would be a responsible shot to take. I could have taken that shot and down to whitetail if I needed. So there you go. Huge flex. I wouldn't say so. It's just something if you're going to take it out, be a responsible hunter. That's something you should be able to do and still make a good shot. Just to make sure that you're not injuring an animal. We want to do it responsibly. As I mentioned earlier, when I go hunting, I'm not going to do that just for the fun of it. I want to make sure I'm responsible with it. I'm doing it for a reason. And I want to make sure that I don't injure an animal if I'm not going to put it on the ground. If I'm taking a shot, I want to make sure that it goes down and it doesn't have to suffer. That's my goal there. All right. You're a hunter? Well, I will be hunting with this bow. I have not yet hunted with this bow, but I will. So we're making sure we're in a good spot for it. That was a good one. That was a real good one. All right, we'll go down there. We don't have to go grab them. We'll just set up the Atlatl, flip the release around, tuck it underneath, just like so. Just like that. To Survivor, that is always a plus. Yep. We will get you guys behind me. 158 people in here. This is crazy. Can you see the target? Not at all. I gotta turn you the other way. Okay, you can see the target. We're gonna actually go like this, put you guys at that side. So it's on that side of the screen. You can see the target I'm aiming for is that one, the red, blue, and yellow one. And then we're gonna stand over here, see if we can hit it. This is just shy of 20 yards with the Atlatl, the ancient spear thrower. Ever split an arrow? I've not, but I've broken a lot of nocks. You have to hit it with a field point. You gotta hit it dead in the middle to get it to split, like down to less than a millimeter, less than 0.1 millimeters. Like it's gotta be dead perfect to split it with a field point. With a broadhead, that'd be pretty doable. But yeah, I've broken quite a few nocks, which means I hit it right on the back of another arrow. I've just never hit it dead perfect. So everybody's bored at work on a Friday. Yeah. Well, with the whole working at home thing, how many of these people just maybe aren't working right now? You never know. Also, the thing about YouTube is that there's different time zones coming in, so you never know who's in the chat. All right. You guys can see it. We're aiming for that going right there. See what we can do. Too high. Oh, just low. Just low. Oh, tripping over the sticks. Let's go grab them and do it again. Those were good throws, but not quite in the right spot. The release came untucked. 151 people, only 34 likes. Thanks, Tony. That's awesome. Tony's the new hype man. Tuck that release back in a little bit better. We're gonna turn it a little bit so you can see it more central. I'll just stand slightly out of frame. Oh, just low. Almost in the exact same spot as the other one. Oh, just left. That one bounced off of the left side of the target. We're right there. We're right there. The light within us says this is cool. Juan Roque 2527. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. Thanks for stopping in. Maybe this live will help us. Do you put frog poison on the tips? No, not much frog poison around in Pennsylvania, but if I lived in like the Amazon jungle, I'm sure I would. Good thing you're not hungry. If I was hungry, I'd be using the bow, not this. Do you play pool or billiards? I mean, I have. I don't like actively, but I have played pool before. Yeah, good thing I'm not hungry. Yeah, this is mostly for fun. I'm sure if I used it as much as I used the bow, I'd be better. But this is my fun for the day. All right, let's go grab that. Those are both real close. We're right there at just about 20 yards. We are right in the zone. So give it another shot or two. We might have it. The motion to throw an Atlatl is very similar to throwing a football. I mentioned this in a previous short. If that was a receiver, he could have stuck his arms out and caught it. But this is like saying you got to hit someone on you got to hit a, sorry, you got to hit a dinner plate from 20 yards. A lot different than saying you got to throw it to where the receiver can catch it. He wants to see the tips of the spears. That's what they look like. It's covered in dirt, but that's what they look like. If you want to see this whole setup, how I built it, all that in more detail, I have it's like 40 minutes long, a whole video of me making these, experimenting with it. It's a fun video. If you got some time, a lot of my videos, my long form videos, are quite long, but I go really in depth with what I'm doing, try and show you guys the whole process. So if that's what you like, check out the long form video on this, because I go super in depth on all the ins and outs of it. Just over top. That one was worse than the previous two shots. A little bit left. Let's take a couple shots with the bow. Oh, except all my arrows are down there. Yeah, we'll go grab the arrows, take a couple shots with the bow, and come back to the Atlatl. Alrighty. Very cool. Are you left-handed or screen flip? Screen flip. Everybody always asks that. I forget to mention it. Yeah, I'm not left-handed. This is my right hand. I know it looks like my left hand, but I promise this is my right hand. Learned my lefts and rights a while back, and I haven't forgot them yet. West Daves is very cool. Nice try. Thanks, guys. Let's put a couple shots downrange with the bow. Hit something a little bit more accurately. That follow through is something you want. You don't want to be anticipating it. You just kind of want to follow through with your release hand. Trust that you're floating in the right spot. Your brain adjusts things super quickly, and it will really try to, as that shot's breaking over, it'll notice it's breaking over. It'll try and super quickly correct and get you back on target as long as you're close. You just got to float close and trust the follow through. John Pierce says this kid's very well spoken. Think I'll subscribe for the long haul. Thanks. I try. I pride myself on being able to explain what I'm doing. That doesn't mean I'm a professional, but I can tell you what I'm doing, talk about what I'm learning, and hopefully you guys can learn along with me. Still haven't missed the dot today, other than our 1 minute shot. We missed, but it was about an inch outside. So we were close enough to be a decent shot, especially after sitting at full draw for an entire minute. But yeah. In case anybody's wondering, this is a 65-pound bow. What's the temperature there? It's a good question. I imagine it's right about that 60-degree mark. Might be a little bit under, but 6 degrees or so. How far back are you? 20 yards from this current spot. Let's show you one this way, show you the form once more. I like to do that at least once a set. Hold on here. That's right. That's not right. I notice things aren't right before I pull it back. If I was hunting, I'd take more time to check before I did it, but the perils of being alive. Reminds me of my youth. Thanks, guys. We are over 1,000 now, but because one of my biggest watch hour videos I've ever had was in October of last year, it just fell outside the year range, so I'm back under watch time for ad monetization. Still have my fan support monetization, but we need some more watch hours to hit that 4,000 now that video is in the mix. So those are good shots. I think I'm going to move the bow target back to 30 yards. controlled breathing techniques. Yeah. So I could be more controlled. But generally what I do, good point out there. Generally what I do, you don't really ever, if you're trying to hold steady, you don't want to be breathing in as you're letting that shot break over. What I'm doing, I'm not necessarily, because I don't know when my shot's going to break over, I'm just kind of laying on this trigger. You'll see it doesn't have much trigger travel, but I can start laying on it. I'm pushing on it, I promise. And eventually it breaks over. I take a deep breath in and hold that, maybe let it out a little bit. You just don't want to be breathing in as you're letting that shot break over. You want to already have that breath for you. Quite the compound bow you got there. Yeah, it's a recent setup. Most recent long form on the channel goes over the full breakdown of everything I put on the bow, what I got for it. I ended up saving a lot of money with some sales, all that sort of stuff. The majority of the bow was paid for with money for my graduation. I'm a freshman in college, but when I graduated high school, some people gave me money. I said, hey, I think I'm gonna use it for a compound bow. Let them know. So thanks to all my family and friends for essentially donating to my bow purchase. But yeah, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. There's a lot cheaper setups you could have gotten, but I'll probably shoot this for 8 to 10 years. So yeah. What percent let off? 80% let off, 65-pound draw, maybe a little bit less now because the bow's settling in, but it's at least 60 to 65-pound draw, 80% let off. I shoot a 27-inch draw. My axle to axle on that bow, which you can't change that, I'm just talking about the bow, is 32 and a half, I believe. I do the full breakdown of everything, all the accessories on it in a video, so there you go. Randy is in Ozark's Great Adventures. Well, it looks like at least his handle has changed to Ozark's guy now. But yeah. Claude says, can you shoot please? You just missed the shooting session. So yeah, this guy knows bows. I try and know things. That doesn't mean I can apply them as well as other people, but I try and explain things well. I'm trying. All right, let's go down there. I'm gonna move the target to 30 yards. It's currently at 20. We'll move it back to 30, and we'll give that a shot, and then we'll take a couple more throws with the Atlatl as well. So you guys can see me back there. All right. That's why I asked. Yep, there you go. I just did one, but well, I had people asking about the specs of the bow, so I wanted to let them know. I have not seen that yet, Ozark. I looked. Was it recent, or did I like somehow miss it? Because I looked a couple days ago because I knew you said you were gonna look for it, but I haven't seen it yet. So. How do you go fishing? I got lots of videos on that on the channel. Ever tried to shoot an apple off a person's head? No, that's not safe. Simple answer on that one. Yesterday, okay. I'll look for it. We'll shoot a couple from behind me. You can see it, that's now down at 30 yards, not 20. It's a little bit crooked, but we should be able to make it work. Do I do firearms target practice? Yes, but you're not allowed to do that on live. And that's not something like, I don't want my channel to be about that because I'm not an expert on that. There's a lot of safety things going on, but it will be a tool that I use in the hunting process. So I'll mention it as a tool, but I'm not going to do like target practice. I like generally doing archery more, but like when I go squirrel hunting, I will use a firearm. It's a tool for that job, but that's not what the channel is about. Do you go fish? Yes, I do. Lots of videos on the channel about that. That's where my journey in the outdoors and on the channel started. So So I think I put the target a little bit shy of 30 yards because that shot was a tad high. It felt like a good one. I'm gonna aim at the same point, see if it's still, yeah, it is from William Tell, but there are people who come in here and ask me to do stupid things on live, and I feel like I have the obligation to make sure people know that that is not safe. People have asked me to shoot the arrow straight up in the air and try and catch it, and they were serious, but like all this stuff. Pennsylvania, indeed. I'm gonna aim at the same spot, see if it hits in the same spot, therefore see if it's high. If it is, I'm gonna move the target back a tad, because then that means it's not quite at 30. Squirrel just fell out of a tree. Speaking of squirrels. The wife says, good job, and how old are you? I'm 18 years old. I'm a freshman in college. I'm a mechanical engineering student. And the accent. It's so weird because, like, when you live in a place, you don't realize you have an accent, but I guess I do. Everyone has an accent a little bit. Watching from the UK, thank you, thank you. Yeah, shots are hitting a little bit high. They both hit that far or so, the two shots from one another. Yeah, that means that the target isn't quite at 30 yards. I'm gonna shift it back a couple more feet. So you don't have a country accent, not really. These people are tripping. No, I have a Pennsylvania accent. Kentucky? No, Pennsylvania. Country accent is like down south. From Qatar, that's sweet. So are you from the Sheets side of Pennsylvania or the Wawa side of Pennsylvania? And then guess which side of Pennsylvania I'm from. You sound very clean. Yeah, but except that's like, I don't know, Pennsylvania, you're a Sheets side, I'm a Wawa side. I go to Sheets because my college is out in Reading and I commute there, so I pick up stuff and gas from Sheets all the time, but I will stand by the fact that I think Wawa is better. We can have that argument when I come back. I'm gonna hurt myself on that one day. People are from Indiana and Ohio. They have accents, just not as strong as Southern. Chester County. I live in Montgomery County. I do a lot of stuff in Berks County and Chester County. My college is in Berks County. I go to Penn State Berks. That's where I go to college, so. Can't stand Wawas. No. That's terrible. Been there 3 times coming back from Lehigh. Every time was disappointing. So let me know, what'd you get from Wawa? Like, give me the lowdown. We can talk about it, because I'm a Wawa advocate over here. Can't have people missing out on Wawa. What's my personal best fish and what species? Chicken wrap? That's why. Dude, you gotta get... There's lots of good stuff from Wawa. They got really good paninis. You gotta get Wawa paninis. They got good bread. The Sizzlies are good. You can get stuff like that from everywhere, but Wawa has it cheap. They got some great deals during Hoagie Fest. You can get like a giant hoagie, like a full-size hoagie for like $4. My friend saw you on Grindr. That's interesting because I don't have Grindr. So there you go. Pork egg roll. What's my personal best fish and species? I didn't answer that. Sorry about that, Tony. Personal best fish, the biggest one I've ever caught is an 110-pound stingray. That is in a video on the channel. I've caught a couple other big stingrays, a shark, which is coming on the channel this winter. Maybe early spring. We'll see how fast I can get it done. But yeah, as far as more common fish, like non-saltwater fish, caught a couple real big catfish, some big carps. What's my opinion on labubus? I think they're kind of weird, but if people like them, they can have them. Have I ever played lacrosse? I've played lacrosse in the backyard, but never on a team. What reptiles can you find over there? Over where? In Pennsylvania? We've got eastern box turtles. We've got, what else we got? We got painted sliders, or painted turtles and sliders. We got, don't really have any lizards. Lots of turtles, mostly turtles. Snapping turtles. Neil Atlatl, that's someone from my high school. He was a junior last year, so Neil's holding down the fort as a senior at high school. How's stuff going for you, Neil? What are you taking this year? Do I watch Skibbity Toilet? Jose and Neil were both trombone players at my high school. I was a trumpet player. They're both holding down the fort at good old Springford. Alligator snapping turtle. Okay, that was a terrible shot. Whoever at least got hung up. Oh boy, fun stuff. Got people from high school coming in there. How are the trumpets holding down the fort over there? Got Ben and Chase and the gang over there. Neil's no longer in band. No way, Neil. Neil quit on you? Found some along the Susquehanna River, first in 18 years. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let me know. Some lizards have migrated north from the southern states. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that, at all. What type of lizards? That's something I'll have to keep an eye out for on my kayaking and fishing trips. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9? I don't know. No, that's why 6 is afraid of... No. No, that's why... Yeah, no, that's why 6 is afraid of 7. Because 7, 8, 9. Oh, that one was dead middle. That was perfect. Skink. Huh. That's something I'll have to keep an eye out for. Yeah, how's everyone doing in the band? How's it sounding? I was talking to Ben the other day. He was telling me, I was the lead trumpet in jazz band last year, but Ben was telling me, this is for the chat, but you guys know that. The people from my school know what I'm talking about. But Ben was telling me the other day that all 3 trumpets who I was in the jazz band with last year, all younger than me, tried out for, what was it, district jazz band. They all made it. That was super sweet. Good to hear. They are some good players over there. And then they were telling me about some of the schedule coming up. I think I'm going to come to a jazz concert this year. We'll see. Going on here. Good shot. Do we have iguanas there? No. What bow setup? This is an Elite Terrain. I've got a Trophy Ridge Trilogy 3-pin slider on there. I've got Redline stabilizer bars. My focus right now is not good. These shots are fine, but they're not great from 30 yards because I got a whole bunch of things I'm thinking about as I'm talking to you guys. I'll take a set where I just focus and see how the shot placement is, but we're going to hit the target on all of them. It's pretty close. Andrew. Which Andrew? But yeah, I remember several Andrews. Which Andrew are you? That's Mike. That's not Mike. Mike's in college too. He goes to Hillsdale or something, if I remember right. Mike was a senior with me last year. Well, yeah, band, but there's a couple Andrews in band. Yeah, I'll go grab those arrows. as you guys keep messing around. We have 122 people in here, 71 thumbs up. On the live, we just passed over 1,000 subscribers. I think it was yesterday. So, yeah, good stuff here. I'll do a set or two where I'm more focused on shooting than the chat. See how we do. Those shots were fine. One of them was really good from 30 yards. So, yeah. Brazil, Brandon Ayrton, 8370 from Brazil. That's sweet. We got lots of people coming in from lots of different places today. All right, I take back everything I say. I obviously just can't see past 30 yards. I have my monocular that I use, but all those shots except for one were within 3/4 of an inch from where I was aiming, so it was good. Randy's going to work. Thanks, Randy. Do I use the bow and arrow to hurt or kill animals? Not right now, but I plan on taking a deer with it eventually. If that's something that concerns you, just know that, overall, wild game harvesting is more ethical for the animals than farm harvesting. And I plan on practicing to where I can't injure the animal. It would be a clean and respectful thing. And I would use every part of the animal. I'm going to do a video documenting that and showing people how to do it responsibly. If, for example, if I get a deer, let's say it's a buck, just for the sake of the argument. It's probably not going to be a buck. It's probably going to be a doe. But I do fly tying, so I'd use some of the fur for that. I'd use the hide for different projects. I'd use the sinew for bushcrafting projects. I'd use the antlers to make knife handles for other projects. I'd obviously use all the meat. If I take an animal, I'm going to use as much of it as I can, do it as respectfully as possible. I really like all the animals out here. If I'm going to be something that disrupts the natural flow of stuff in the ecosystem, I'm going to do it as responsibly as I possibly can. So don't worry about that. If that's something that still concerns you, then not much I can do about that. Take it up with the people who raise chickens, not me. So. All right, we're gonna, you know what we should do? We should go grab my monocular. I think I know where it is. So I can go grab that super quickly. And once I have the monocular, I can just lift it up and see where my shot is. Because I couldn't tell where those shots were. I just saw them hit the target, but they were all really good. So, yeah. Bristow. We got like the whole band in here. All right. I'm going to go grab my monocular so I can see it. Just because we hunt doesn't mean we hate animals. It's called conservation. That is true. Squirrels, deer in Pennsylvania are all things that need managed if you just let their population run wild, because we don't have as much natural areas we used to. There's developments and all that sort of stuff. There'd be too many of them. You see them. I commute to school. I drive 40 minutes to school every day. I see like 4 deer hit on the side of the road every day. Trust me. Me taking one with a bow and using it for food is a lot more beneficial than it getting hit by a car and just turning to rotting meat. So you just gotta pick your battles here. I'm gonna go grab the binoculars so I can see where I hit when I hit. I'll be back in a moment. We ate with CHD. What's going on? I'm about to go grab my binocular, so as I'm shooting at 30 yards, I can actually see where the arrows are hitting, but I will be back shortly and I can have a conversation with Off the Hook. Off the Hook's an awesome guy. Been around the channel for a long time. Hunting, yeah, we got the bow out here. Talking about some of this hunting stuff I'm gonna do with it, but this is still a very new setup, so we're doing practice. I'm not gonna take this out for deer hunting till next year, so I'm really dialed in with it. But yeah, that's what this is eventually gonna do. Let me go grab the binocular. I'll be back in a moment. Alrighty. Whew. Ran up to the house and back. Binocular with my strap so I can shoot. Hangs off my back hip. I can up, see where my shot is, go back to shooting. Bow hunting's a little harder, but getting back into it. We weren't able to draw a bow for 5 years. Wow, that's good determination back into it. Was in the tree this morning. One nice buck right at gray light, and then 2 young bucks chasing 3 doe around. Alrighty. Let's take some more shots. We got the binocular so I can see where they hit. See what we can do. It was a little low, I can tell you, but it was pretty good. Maybe an inch low. Heat sensing binocular, not quite, no. It's a $20 binocular. I like it. For 20 bucks, it's pretty good on a strap, so I can see where my archery shots hit. Heading to work now, but I'll have Theo down my camp tomorrow. We'll have my son in the blind. Sweet. I think that one's good. You gotta use the bow for support here. I can't find it. Oh, it's over here. Huh. Yeah, that one's real good. Past like 30 yards. 30 yards or more, I really can't tell exactly where the shot's hit. So, having the binocular is helpful. I think that one's darn near perfect as well. Yep, I'm a tad high, so I think on all of them. So I think the it has pins on the inside. I'll show you that. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me finish my statement, then I'll read chat. I gotta keep my brain like on a straight path. There's so much going on. But yeah, all my shots are a bit high, so I think the target's still not quite at 30 yards. Probably has to go back another 5 feet or something like that, but it's close enough to where I can shoot at it. No joke, when I first started out, I brought a golfing binocular for real cheap. I used that for like 5 years because how good it worked. What part of the country are you in? How much is the draw? And let me finish reading Outdoor Fams. Has pins on the inside to show the yardage too. Yeah, I'm gonna get a rangefinder for Christmas. I'm being asked like all these things like, oh, what for Christmas? I can't come up with anything because if I want it, I bought it. Just because I usually like need it at that moment. But yeah, I came up with a rangefinder as a good thing to get, so I'm gonna get a rangefinder. Gonna go into my lease in Ohio the week of the 9th. Buddies up there, but no shooters are showing up. So what part of the country are you in? How much is the draw was the question. I am in Pennsylvania. The draw is 65 pounds. We'll show you one from this side. See if we can hit another good shot. The first ones were really good. Literally can't see it at all. A little bit high as well, but in the zone. Rut's coming, they'll be there. Yep. Yeah. Deer hunting is a cool thing. But if you do it right, you know, it's all about responsible shooting. It's not just about the fun of it. It's about being able to get some meat on the table in an ethical way. That one, I don't need the monocular for that one. That one's good. My whole setup is right around 1,000 with everything. My release, arrows, case, bars, the bow, the sight, all that. I got a lot of it on sale, and it is expensive, but I'll probably shoot this bow for the next 8 to 10 years. So I don't know if I want to go live or not when I go fishing tomorrow morning, but I might. We'll see. What am I doing tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning, I'm up at the lake house. Is it a Hoyt? It is an elite terrain. An elite. All those shots were pretty darn good. Hang it up on the tree. I'll go grab those. And we'll do... Actually, we won't grab them yet. We'll put the target, the Atlatl target up. And we'll see if we can hit 1 or 2 with the Atlatl. Tuck the release in, back behind. Looks like all the people from band, from the high school band I used to be a part of. I graduated, I'm now a freshman in college, but we had a bunch of underclassmen from last year coming in and say hi. I guess they somehow found me and said, wait, we know this guy. But I like your setup. Yeah, me too. I have a whole video going over the setup out on the channel if you're interested in going over in detail. I give specific pricing, why I picked, what I compared it to, all that stuff. Yeah, go check that out if you're interested in more detailed stuff. Got a Sanlita Dragon X8 from Amazon for $200, and it's awesome. Wasn't sure if I could shoot after my injury, but it's a really nice bow. Yeah, I've seen some people shooting that. Cheaper bow, has less features, but it works. And a $200 bow that works is pretty sweet. Is there an Atlatl season where you live? No, that's just for fun. Gonna go live from the lake. We'll see. We'll see. I'm up there with the girlfriend this weekend, so priority's hanging out with her, but we shall see. Rangefinder would probably help you more than your moins. More than my moins. Oh, my monocular. Yeah, this is just so I can see where I'm hitting. The rangefinder would be to set up the target and such. But I like this because I don't worry if it gets battered around. It's only 20 bucks. It just sits off my hip and it works. Keep your release hand next to your cheek. No, I actually do want to follow through because I'm using back tension. You don't want to keep it here. That's not a good thing. I'm using back tension. Like I'm pulling like this with my back on the bow to keep it steady, make sure that I'm giving good tension through. So when I release, I'm not pressing the trigger. I don't know when it's going to go off. I'm slowly applying tension. It goes off, surprises me. My hand's going to swing through because I actually have tension. It's like if you're pushing on the tree or if you're pushing on a door and someone opens the door, you're going to fall forwards. It's just the natural release of tension. I'm not doing that. Sometimes I do just to make sure that I feel that release and know what it's like, but I generally am just letting it swing through. A lot of target archers do that. It's more of a target thing. So, yeah. But it's been a good drill to help me follow through. Kisser button on your string? Yes, I do. Alright, I'm gonna go grab that. It's a loud truck. I'm gonna go grab those shots, I'll come back. They all broke nice. The furthest one away was our first shot. It's about an inch away. The rest are really good. Hey, I'm blind in one eye, I have partial paralysis to spinal cord, loving that I can finally draw a bow again. I'm 40, hunted 10 days ago, stopped 5 years. Yeah, that's awesome. Good that you got back into it. I'm gonna shoot a couple more archery shots to show what I was talking about with outdoor fam. So, you don't have to do this. You can like, it's all about the amount of back tension you do, and like you can stop your hand when it swings through. So I can do this. I can do this, take a shot. And follow through with my hand like that. Or you can stop it part way. I'm just letting it I'm letting it go all the way. You don't have to do that, but it's a good mental thing to prioritize the follow through. I'm going to talk about that in my next video about compound bows. Like, you can stop it part way. You want to let it follow through, but you don't have to let it swing all the way. I'm letting it do that. You can also do this. Oh, I did it again because I'm just so used to it. But you can stop it part way. And that's not a problem as long as if you're not plucking on the trigger, then you're good. See, I stopped it part way. My hand kind of went like this and stopped. You either let your whole arm swing through, which is a good mental reminder to follow through, or you can just do it with your hand if you're good enough. Let's see I haven't looked at any of those shots. We'll see what they look like. They all hit the dot I was aiming for, so there's that. I cursed this chat with 1,000 plagues. Well, I trust God will protect me. Blind in one eye and left eye from paintball at 19. There you go. Yeah, that's awesome. You can still do it, though. Looks like you're well off. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Have a great weekend. Yeah, for sure. I love that I've got great resources here in chat. The hand will usually fall directly behind the head. Yeah, I let my whole arm swing through because it's a reminder. I used to not follow through, so it's a reminder for me. You don't need to do that. As long as you follow through some and make sure you're not just plucking, like boom, your hand will just stay in place because you know when you're going to hit, your body's prepared for it. You just want to let it follow through and you're good. I'm pretty sure that one was dead middle. Yep. Yeah, the curses. I'm not too worried about the curses. 23% on the phone, but I got the the battery pack hooked up to the tripod, so when it's needed, I can just plug it in. Ugh. I think that one hit high. It did by like 3 inches. That's definitely my worst shot of the day. Not sure what happened. Sometimes it just does happen, and you got to move on and take a better shot next time. All my shots previous have been really good, but sometimes that just happens. As long as you're consistently doing well, then you're in a good spot. But that's right. I believe that as well. Brandon Markham. Thanks, Woodsman. Yeah, sometimes you have bad shots. That one wasn't great. It's okay. I've been shooting well all day. We've got one bad shot on the board. I can live. All right, let's do the Atlatl. All right. Awesome that you got a new setup and working towards getting in the woods with it. Yeah, outdoor fam. Yeah. By the way, what Outdoor Fam was saying about not plucking is a very good notion. It's just you gotta like, you're being extremely distracted. No worry. Yeah, obviously. If I was just locked in, I'm sure I'd be shooting a little bit better. But I've generally still been shooting well, so. But Outdoor Fam was talking about not plucking the string. That's definitely something you don't want to do. If you got your release out here, you're ready to go. It's on my spot. Boom. You don't want to do that. And your hand will fly backwards when you do that because your whole hand's coming down. Or you can let go. You can cause tension. And when it breaks over, your hand's still going to go backwards. It's a different thing, but it might show up the same visually. You just got to know which one you're doing and be aware of that. So back tension release, but I have to do the trigger now because my back has too much titanium in it. There you go. Yeah. This, you can still treat it kind of like a back tension release. You kind of pull through with your whole hand, and that's why your hand goes with it when it breaks over. But yeah. All right, tuck the release in, do a couple throws with the Atlatl. We got to be out of here to go to the lake at 4. I'm mostly packed up, but I got a couple things, like a couple of my outdoor gear things to pack up to go to the lake. I'll probably do that live with you guys, just keep me entertained, show you what I'm bringing up there. We might do some video content. We're going to film something, but I don't know if I'll do a live or anything, but yeah. So hard not to puck. Takes a lot of practice because it will definitely mess the shot up. Yeah, I've been getting a lot better at that lately. A lot of that is this release. My old release had so much trigger travel, so you knew when it was going to go off. So it was very easy to command shoot it because it had so much travel. This has a lot less travel. That helps. You also just got to focus on pulling through, trusting that float. The reason why people want to pluck is because they don't trust their front hand to be steady enough. It's floating around, and as soon as it touches, they smack that trigger because they're like, okay, well, it touched it, it's going to move off of it again. But if you trust your float, know that your body can make super fast minor adjustments. As that shot breaks over, as long as it's floating super close, you can make that minor adjustment and kind of push it back to center. Your body will do that automatically because your brain knows I want to hit that spot. But as long as you trust that float, pull through, it's still close because that float's consistent, and then your body will autocorrect, just kind of get it back to middle. It won't do it perfectly, obviously, but like it'll try and push it back to middle as much as it can. I pull release so slow, not sure when it will go off. That's right. Missed it. Do it again. All right, fine. I'll go grab one more arrow. I'll grab 2 arrows and we'll do it. But then I got to throw the Atlatl because I've been saying that too, and I'm sure there's people waiting to see me throw that. Wrist strap on my bow is one thing that helps me relax my grip. Yep, for sure. All right, we'll put you guys over here so you can see it. So I get it in here, draw it back, and I set. I'm pulling through with my back. I could be super relaxed because I'm not holding much weight, but I'm pulling through a decent bit, get my pin to float around the dot I want, and then I slowly pull. And as you see, my hand goes back like this because my brain doesn't totally know when it's going to go off. So as long as I'm allowed one once in a while, yep. As long as I'm floating around close to the dot, as that shot breaks over, my body will try and autocorrect it to get back to dead center. We'll do one more shot so you can see it. I'll slow down a little bit, not talk in the middle of it so you guys can see the whole shot process, one smooth motion. There you go. Mechanical or fixed blade broadheads. I actually don't know. I haven't thought about that yet, but I got a whole year to think about it. So if you have a suggestion and some reasoning why, let me know because I love to hear people's opinions. So there you go. Now we throw the Atlatl. Have you tried a nose button instead of a kisser? No, I've not. This is the first time I've had any sort of button on the string. The kissers, I've been liking the kisser, so I'll probably stick with that. But I'm not opposed to eventually trying a nose button. I like the kisser though. It's working really well for me. My accuracy has, a lot of it's just, there's a lot of things. I have stabilizer bars. My release is better so I can do a better surprise release. I've just been practicing. but that kisser button has definitely been something that has increased my accuracy just a little bit, and all those factors combined has made me better with this new setup. So yep. All right, let's grab the Atlatl. What price range is that fancy bow? The bow itself is $750. I got it on sale for $700. But the accessories on it push it up a little bit as well. You don't need one that expensive, and there's stuff that's much more expensive, but I plan on shooting this bow for 8 to 10 years. So I switched from a kisser to a nose button. It helped me a lot with face pressure. Yeah, I don't typically have a lot of face pressure. I mean, everyone has a little bit, but there you go. Like, it kind of is what it is. You're going to have a little bit. As long as you aren't having a ton, you should be good. I should put you guys on this side. Can I throw a spear for you? Yeah, I can. Let me put you guys like that. Yep. Let me go grab them. Let's put this right here. Yeah. Form looks pretty solid. Well, thanks. Yeah, the more and more I do lives, I start to realize that, like, there's a lot to be said for the fact that I don't do as well. I don't do quite as well with accuracy because I'm constantly having my thought process interrupted. I talk to you guys about certain things. But I'm still shooting decently well on live, which is a good thing for me. I use Smoke Old Muzzy 3-blade broadhead. Always have. Just trust them, and expandables are nice because the big cut. But if you have to shoot low pounds like me, don't want to use them for sure. Need it fixed. There you go. How you got internet? I'm using mobile data, so there's that. Elite bows are built like a lot like Hoyts. It's a quality product. I've had mine for 10 years, never had a problem still. Yeah, one of the other bows that in the process of buying this one that I liked a lot was a Hoyt Torex. It was a my favorites were Hoyt Torex, Bear Alaskan XT, and the Elite Terrain, and I ended up settling on the Terrain. Got my Hoyt restrung and built every 2 years. It's never done me wrong. There you go. Not smoked some Muzzy, old Muzzy, yeah. Xander's going bass fishing right now. Sweet. La Cara de WN. The face of what? What's WN? I know Spanish. I know enough to know what you just said, other than that I don't know what WN stands for. Alright, so we're aiming for that target right there. Oh, just over top. You can see it sitting right next to it. And that one was low. Go grab him. Yeah, Jorge Valenzuela. I don't know his last name. I tried. That was terrible. How old are you? I'm 18 years old, freshman in college. Someone give me a live subscriber count. We were at 1,003 when I started this live. Someone let me know where we're at. $37. Can't go wrong with Muzzy. So people like Muzzy. I saw them at Walmart. There were the G5 Mega Meats. I've heard really good things about those. There were some Muzzy ones. There was some fixed blade stuff. There were Schwackers there. Some good stuff. Stuff I've heard of. I just don't know what I'm going to go with. 1.4? What does 1.4 mean? Tony says, I'm out for now. Have a good day. I'll see you again. Good luck on everything you're working on. Thanks, Tony. Good to have you in here. Thanks for stopping in. 1.4. 1.4. I'm at 1.4K. I just passed 1,000 yesterday. That's insane, guys. Are you sure? 1.04. That makes more sense. I was gonna say, how did I get 300 or 400 on this live? 40 I can buy. 400, not quite. Oh, darn. Close. I appreciate the help, Pink, but man, you got me hyped up. That's all good. I was like 400. Good Lord. There was a walnut underneath my foot, so I slipped and almost fell down while throwing that one. So there's that. Muzzy 125 grain, 3-blader, awesome. Break shoulders all day, 125 grain. Magnus buzz cut, do the same thing. It will happen one day. Yeah, I'm sure. But hey, we were at 1,003, so the fact that it says 1.04 means that we're up to at least 1,040. So we got at least 37 subscribers today. That's pretty sweet. What's my stream about? We are doing some archery. I got my bow over here. Here's my bow. We're doing some compound bow archery, and we are throwing Atlatls. The 11th hour 111 says I'm one of your new subs. Sweet, thank you. Foliarza, I'm going to, I don't mind what you say, I appreciate the support, but this is a family-friendly channel, so I'm going to remove your comment just for the sake of keeping it language clean. That's on the upper end of language. I appreciate the support, and I generally, I'm not trying to police what you say, I'm just saying in here we try and keep it clean, so I'm going to remove that. Homemade, yes, they are. I have a full video up on the channel. Yep, Woodsman, I got it. Full video up on the channel of me making and testing these out, so. Family-friendly channel and live stream, yep. Generally not a problem, I appreciate the support. You seem like a nice guy, but we just need to set the standard of making sure language stays clean in here. Speech to text. All right, here we go. See the target over there? Oh, that one was so close. Yeah, you're good. I'm not upset about it, but we just got to set that standard in here and keep it clean. I made that? Yes, I did. Full video on the channel. It's a couple months old, but you can find it. The thumbnail is me making this and throwing this, so you can find it. It's about 40 minutes long. The whole process from where I had sticks, I was cutting them down in the woods, to where I got this. A lot of carving, a lot of testing. It's a good video, fun video. Would that pierce Ice Agent's armor? I don't know who Ice Agent is. Give me some background and I might be able to give you an answer. So that one was bad. All right, let's plug in the phone. Bear with me as I get this plugged in here. We don't want the phone to die. That'd be an abrupt end to the live stream. Xander just got a 10-pound fish. What was it, a catfish? You said you were going bass fishing, but if you got a 10-pound bass, I feel like there's bigger priorities than coming back in here to tell me. The Atlatls are cool. I don't know how to spell it. That's fair. It's A-T-L-T-L. Atlatl. That's right. Just like that. Got it in there. Oh, ICE agent. No, and I don't think we should be throwing spears at them. Whether you like them or not, they're still people, and generally throwing spears at people is not a good idea. Do I plan on using that hunting anything? No, I don't. Yeah, I'm totally okay with talking about things like your personal religious beliefs and that sort of thing, because I'm big on that, and that's a big part of my life. And we can have if we can have a civil discussion about it, that's okay. But politics is not something that I just want to discuss, because it's not something I want to discuss. It can be divisive, and it's not something that I want to talk about. So not something we're going to talk about. Just generally, you can have your beliefs. You can talk about your beliefs. It's a free country, but in here, not something we're going to discuss. So we'll just let it pass by the wayside then. Wooden targets. Huh, I've never used wooden targets, but maybe. I am a Christian. Yes, it's something very important to me. Woodsman is, a lot of my other viewers are. It's pretty cool, because when you make that the focus of your life, and you use those morals, and that's what's important to you, then you tend to find other people who are like that, and it's super cool, because you can find people that you relate to, not just on the outdoors, but on many things. So, good stuff. All right, let me go grab those, see if I can hit it again. Getting ready to take my daughter on her first deer hunt. That is the beauty of America. Everybody has the free right to do what they want to. Well, for the most part, you can't go around hurting people. That will take away your freedom. But as long as you respect everybody else's liberty of the rights of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, if you respect other people's right to that, then you are generally allowed to do what you want. So, yeah. And it's super special that we have that here. It allows a lot of good discussion and allows some good progress. The Bible said you can kill. Well, the Bible has talked about things like for example, Gideon was told to go in and wipe out a city that was doing some pretty horrific things, which to me is the same concept as a lot of wars. It doesn't condone killing for your own personal purpose, but if it's something that is against God's law and against the way things should go, people doing human sacrifice, that sort of thing, then to me that's something that's okay to go ahead and take out, because it's for the greater good. If you go in and take out people who are sacrificing children, that's something that I'd say would be worthwhile taking out. So you got to take everything in context there. Thanks, Steve. Awesome member, Steve, in the house. Foliarza says from Florida. I'm from Pennsylvania. So, yeah, you got to take everything in context. All right, let's see if we can hit this thing. What other ordinance can the Atlatl shoot? Ordinance. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Give me some clarification, and I'll do my best to answer for you. Oh my gosh, just low. We got to give it a little bit more power. I'm good on the left-right aiming, but I'm too far up and down. Let's just give it more power, get it to go straighter. What other projectiles can it shoot? Just these. You can make different styles, different lengths, but it has to look like this throughout. Oh, just over top. Bible. Oh, we just read that in Leviticus the other day. So the slaves of the Bible. This is fun. I like having these conversations. The Bible, the slaves of the biblical time were not chattel slavery. They weren't viewed as people as property. In fact, people were still viewed with the same human rights as other people. For example, in Exodus, it talks about if you beat a slave to death, then you yourself are killed. It's still eye for eye, tooth for tooth. They still have the same value of human life, except for when you are poor. You essentially, if you're poor, you might take on a second job. It's the same sort of thing. You could sell yourself to someone else as a servant and essentially use them to help sustain you. They would give you food and whatever it is in return for the work that you did for them. They didn't own you as a person. They told you what to do. They were your master, but they didn't own you in the same way like American chattel slavery did. You still had human rights. They had to feed you. They had to treat you correctly. You essentially did that and worked for them in return for getting food because you were actually too poor to feed yourself, that sort of thing. It was all about poor stuff, or all about being poor, or it was people that they took from prisoners of war. It was like the women and children. If they wiped out a nation in battle, they'd take the women and children in as slaves. Hard to get them to culturally assimilate, so they'd end up being slaves, but they were still, by the same token, they still had to be treated as people. If you killed them, you were punished for it, all that sort of stuff. It was not the same as American chattel slavery, not the same thing at all. That's a very good discussion to have. That's one of the biggest oppositions that people have to biblical foundation of beliefs. But if you can have a good discussion about it and you can talk about that, then people start to understand that. So, who lead into captivity? Yeah, if you were captured as part of a war, then you could become a slave. It was a different style of slavery, but still had to be treated as a life. You had to feed them, had to treat them properly, or you yourself were also punished. What are we talking about? Someone had a question about my biblical beliefs that I was trying to answer. So, those who kill with the sword. I mean, if it's in a war that is against certain beliefs, then that's okay, but generally don't kill people. So, killing people is generally not good. Bozeman, that's awesome. That's where the meat eater people are from. Clark Summit, trying to read some chats I missed. Just randomly carrying a femur. This is a piece of wood. It does kind of look like a bone. This is a piece of wood I carved. It is a handle to throw spears in the ancient form of projectile launcher known as the Atlatl. I'll show you in a minute. Clocked your speeds by chance? Clocked my speeds on the Atlatl? No, but I know the IBO speed of that bow, but IBO speed isn't completely representative of the actual speed. So, do I have any animals? We have 2 cats. I used to own a lot of fish. I had some crabs, all that, but I don't have them as much anymore. Just because as I've been getting older and I'm out and about more, I've started to let that, if they die, I don't reset it up because I don't have the ability to be here all the time and responsibly take care of them. So, killing is wrong, genocide is wrong. No one deserves to have their whole home bulldozed. I mean, if you were I don't have the right to decide that. That's my view on it. But whether you believe in him or not, if there was a God who was all powerful and did say these people are doing things that are very harmful to society, then that's a difference, and that's his choice to make, not ours. I don't think people should have the ability to say that whole people needs to go away. That's how the Second World War started, and that was a terrible thing that happened. So that's a very different thing than what I'm referring to. So, what's the difference between companies? For what? Let me know. I'll go grab the Atlatl and get back to work. But I'm curious, is it a narrow shaft with a bit of flex would generate more speed and subsequently contribute to better penetration at the target? Do I know that I'm one of the Dukes of Edom? No, I don't. Yeah, these should have a little bit of flex in them. They're not a perfect design, but this is the first Atlatl I've ever made, so I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, a little bit of flex would probably be a little bit better. What are you shooting today? I got the bow out here. We've done a little bit with that. Do some research. I will take a look at that. I know you were putting some verses in Revelation. I've read the entirety of Revelation twice, actually, but I don't know the verse reference off the top of my head, so there's that. Yeah, we're throwing the Atlatl, but I've also got the bow over there. Grenade is an archery coach. He was helping me out with some stuff last time we were in here. Super awesome. There's the target for the Atlatl right there. Oh, we got him. Grenade just needs to come in and I nail it. Yeah, I'll be more than welcome to look at that later, Ezra. I've read the entirety of Revelation twice, so I probably know what you're talking about, just not off the top of my head. So, all right, we will cut off the shooting section of the live in 7 minutes. Go up there and get some work done on packing some stuff up. Oh, that bounced off the tree. Did you see that? I've never done firearm stuff on the channel. I will in the future in hunting stuff, but general firearm shooting is, I mean, it's enjoyable, but for me, they're tools, and I just cite them in to be used as tools. So general shooting, won't be doing that, but I will be using them as tools in the hunting process in the future. Am I going live tomorrow? I don't think so, but you never know. $59 people in here still. When are you going live next? I don't know. I'll try and let you guys know before I do, but sometimes I just pop up and you'll find me if you find me, which is what today was. And obviously, several hundred people have found me, so. Oh, that one was not good. Way to the right. That one came off the handle weird. Oh, just low. Just low. All right, here's the deal. We are going to take 5 more shots with the bow, and then we're gonna call it, go up there, and get some stuff packed up for our trip. Give me a moment here. All right, I'm back. Are you left-handed? No, I'm not. People always ask. It's because I'm using the selfie camera so I can read and you guys can see me at the same time. But no, I'm not left-handed. It's just because I'm using the selfie cam, which flips everything around. This is my right hand. In reality, this is my left hand. I know it looks like that's not true, but it is. Mark's in here. Sweet. Thanks for coming in, Mark. Mark is an awesome subscriber who was in, I think, every one of my lives that I did while in Ocean City, Maryland this year. So he's a great guy. Mark says I've been in the hospital having trouble breathing. I was just talking about how cool you were, Mark, so glad to hear you're okay, but I'll keep you in my prayers for that. A little bit high, but decent shot. Yeah, 30 yards. On the nose. Does this hurt the arrow? I mean, if you shoot an arrow 1 million times, that arrow is going to be pretty bruised and battered. Might be time for a replacement, but generally they're made to do this, so they do fine. Raga Muffin Squad. That's a cool name. Says I subscribe. Grenade says looking good on the release. Thank you. Ugh. My brother has an arrow. Oh, I counted. There you go. That's pretty sweet. You just counted steps and all of a sudden knew it. That's some good observational skills. Props to you. I aim too high. Well, I'm hitting the spot I'm hitting, or I'm hitting the spot I'm aiming at, so I don't think I'm aiming too high. I just hit another arrow. Hopefully that one's okay. I don't like doing that because that's an expensive thing. Pretty arrow. Yeah, they're cool arrows. Easton 6.5. Your elbow is what I used to judge. It seemed more steady. Oh. Well, can you go lower? I mean, I can shoot. There's a dot below the one I'm aiming at, which I'm probably going to shoot at because I just hit one of my other arrows. So they're getting tight down there. I don't want to keep hitting arrows, smacking arrows. Pulling it instead of squeezing it like you're supposed to. People always say this until I put you here and you can watch it from the side. Watch it from the side and then see what you think. We did that. We figured this out last live. It looks a lot different from the side than it does from the front. So check this out and then let me know what you think. How's that one? Yeah, we're not gonna do that. That's not safe, so we're not gonna do that. Hand is supposed to stay where it is. We had someone say that earlier. We got hopefully Grenade's still in here. Grenade is at least assuming he's telling the truth, which by what he oh yep, there he is. By what he said earlier, he is an Olympic archery coach and he likes the way I'm shooting. So if you got a problem with it, take it up with him. He's probably got some better descriptions of why that's good than I do. I know why, but you know, there you go. Full shaft. Like, is the full thing coming through? Now I got a couple inches out front. It's a 29-inch arrow. I have a 27-inch draw, so should have about 2.5 inches out front. Ashley says, I like your hat. Well, thank you. Someone's behind me in the bushes. Well, there's a couple houses over there, including mine, so someone's back there. Probably in their house. Yeah, no, my hand moves back. You can do it just here and drop your hand away as you pull through, but you can also let your whole arm go as a follow-through technique. Both of them are fine. Both of them work good. There's a lot of guys who do both. Chris B, he's a really good shooter. He used to shoot for, I don't know if he was on the Olympic archery team, but he was definitely a competitive target shooter. Now he's a really good hunter. He follows all the way through, but I know a lot of guys who just let their hand drop off as well. So you can do it both ways. It works. Most areas are 31 inches, so you had it cut down. Yeah, I had it cut down to 29. Person remarking about being high thinks you're aiming at the red target. Oh, yes. That would make sense. There's one way out beyond it that is the one I'm actually aiming at, not the red one. So that would make sense. Dewey Lee. Thank you. That's a good observation. That's probably true. I've not hunted anything with this bow yet. I'm going to give it a whole year of shooting, practicing before I go take it out for deer. We'll do one more set with the bow just because we got some people asking questions. So I'll go grab the arrows, come back and do it one more time. Did I Robin Hood my arrow? I didn't Robin Hood it, but I might have broken a knock. We'll see. I'm hoping I didn't do anything other than just smack it with another arrow because that's expensive when you do it. But we'll see. What have you caught? I've caught lots of fish in my day. No Robin Hooding on the arrows. All the fletchings are fine, which to me is a good deal. All the knocks are intact, so I just smacked it. Follow through looks good. Take a breath before you pull through. All right. Live ending soon? Yeah, probably. I gotta pack up to take a trip this weekend, so. Thanks, Big Ben. Sob, you upset that I didn't Robin Hood an arrow and have to spend money? I wish there were more. Okay, that's not true. We're gonna remove that. $1.05. That's awesome. Ugh. I know Grenade said he wanted to see the target, so we'll do one from behind me in a moment. That one was good. It's always nice to have a lot of people in here. We've had over 100 people in here, but when we get in here, we have we always have some people trying to just cause trouble. So we're just gonna give them a timeout. Doughboy says hi. What bow? Oh, grouping of shooting at the same spot. I'll shoot another one at the same spot from 30 and we'll see what it looks like. Watch, I'll now mess up. But I've been shooting well all day, so. I'll shoot 2 or 3 at this dot and then do it. I really don't want to smack arrows. I did it on the previous grouping because that's expensive when it happens. So I'll shoot, if this other one's in the zone, I'll show you 2 and then just move on. But I do not want to shoot more than 2 or 3 at the same spot because that would be bad. I think the second one's a tad high, but it's still in the general right spot. Yeah, one's at the bottom of the dot, one's at the top, but they're both in. I'll shoot one more. How much is an arrow? They're like 10 bucks a piece, so I don't want to break them. I mean, you can repair them. Like if I break a knock, you can just replace the knock, but that's stuff. I would like to see the bag after your end. I'll shoot one more at the same dot, and then we'll go look. Ugh. I don't know where that one is. We'll see, and then I'll. That's like where the second one was. So I think my first one was low because all the shots have been a tad high. I think it's just shy of 30 yards, not actually 30 yards. They're at the top. My first one was low. My second 2 are they're right in the same spot. I should make my own arrows. I will at some point. That'll be something I do on the channel, just not right now. So, ropes for days. Yeah, somehow I missed you. There are 3 people in here causing trouble. I will put in timeout 5 minutes, just so I can at least have a minute without them saying weird things. All right, I will flip you guys around. Bring the target over. There's the grouping of the 3. Not sure if you can see. These 2 are both right at the top edge of the dot here. Well, the camera's pointed up, so you might not even be able to see it all. There you go. So these 2 are right at the top of the dot. As I said, I think it's a little under 30 yards, so they're high. And then this one's in the middle, which means it was probably actually low. But this one's an inch from that one. This one's maybe an inch and a quarter from that one. If I put my hand around them, can I close my hand around the grouping? I can close my hand around the grouping, so there's that. That's from 30 yards. Husnuverall 2967. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Sent 100. Well, thank you. That's awesome. All right, Grenade, let me know what you think. That's the grouping. They're all a little bit high, but that's just because it's probably at like 27 yards or 28 yards, not 30. But it's close enough. Make sure you draw exactly the same. Yeah, that's as always, which I've mentioned this before, that's probably a result of me talking in the middle of stuff. Yeah, the weight is generally pretty easy to pull. I got 2 arrows sitting here. I can, the target's sideways, but I can still hit it. The weight's very easy. I can shoot it. I can pull it super slow if I want. It's just a result of me talking in the middle and losing my focus. That's why they're different. But here, I'll pull real slow for you. It's 65 pounds. I can pull it nice and slow. I'm totally in control. When I shoot on, like with my tripod on long forms, I'm much more consistent because I'm more focused. But I'll just put the other one in the target down there just so I know where they're all in the same place. It's sideways. I'm not really shooting at a spot. I'm just putting arrows down range to show you. So look, I usually start with the bow up, and then as it gets to level, I pull through, just so I time it together. Do it like that. There you go. Free Clippy likes the bow. Well, thanks. I like the bow too. We will throw an Atlatl 1 or 2 more times. Then we got to get up there, do some packing just for a couple minutes to close out the live, let some people fade out of here, and then I got to get working on making sure I'm prepared to leave for the trip we got this weekend. So, all right. A couple more throws with the Atlatl. We're going to throw until we get a good hit, good contact at 20 yards. When we do, focus on pre-draw. Have arrow already pointed at the target when you draw to tighten up at 30. Looking good. Yeah. Where are you going? I'm going up to our lake house in the Pocono Mountains here in Pennsylvania. All right, there's the Atlatl target on right there on the side of the screen. See if we can hit it. As soon as we hit it, we're going to head back up, pack some things up to close out the live. Oh, just low. Yeah. As always, there's stuff that I can always work on in my shooting form, my technique. But we're shooting pretty well, and I'm happy with it. That's a decent 30-yard grouping. I'd say so. What do you think, Grenade? That did good enough grouping from 30? That thing is cool. Did I make it? Yes. Full video on the channel for anybody interested. Ooh. Oh. All right. I heard of the mountains up there are beautiful at this time. Yeah, I'm excited to see the trees as we're driving up the side of the mountain. Oh my gosh, bounced it off the tree. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, right there. We're right there with it. Pinky's from Washington. Pinky, you're new to the channel as of today, right? I think so. Oh, I bounced it off the tree again. That arrow straightens out a little bit slower than this one does. So if I move you guys right here, throw from right here, maybe we'll be able to clear enough with the tree to where we don't do that anymore. Oh my gosh, we're right there, guys. Am I going to try and hunt with that? No, this is for fun. I don't think you're even allowed to hunt with this, even in primitive season in PA. So there's that. But yeah, I'd need a lot more practice, obviously. And you'd really need to stalk stuff up close to be able to do this effectively. Like, even if you're really good, 20 yards, 30 yards, that's as... You can use an atlatl for PA, in PA for deer? I've never... Huh. Is it like in muzzleloader season? Because I didn't see that in the list when I looked. I'm still not going to. Move the camera to the left a little more. Like this. Longer and skinny. Yeah. I built this one, so if I did it, I'd probably get a professional one. Yeah, I mean, given that I built this, I'm pretty proud of how it performs. But yeah, throw it upward. I don't know what that means. Maybe you'll tell me. But are you giving a suggestion, or are you like an atlatl pro over here? Oh yeah, okay. I thought it didn't exist anymore. Like, you're not allowed to hunt any game animals with slingshot either, which is something I do. And I would have gone like squirrel hunting with slingshot. That would have been cool. Not allowed to do it, but Portland. Is that where you're from? We gotta hit this so we can move on. Oh, there we go. All right, contact. All right, well, that's the end of shooting and throwing. One of the most easiest things to do, which is what? Slingshot hunt? Yeah, as always, I'm a little bit better, a little bit more on my game when I don't have to worry about the chat. When I'm just doing it, filming from a tripod, all that. You make it look impossible. I mean, this is a pretty far throw. So, no, I don't think I'm making it look impossible. It's actually a lot easier than archery is. I'm a little rusty. I haven't thrown for like, I probably haven't thrown it in a month, but there you go. It's not that far. How far do you think it is? Take a guess. Some of the people in the chat already know how far that is. It's not like a super close throw. Have I ever thought about picking up a sling? Have I ever? Slinging is possibly the most fun thing ever. No, that's about 60 feet, so double that. See, I'll walk out there and then you can see. "20 yards, yeah, that's right. So that's how far it was. Yeah, have you ever tried rock slinging? Yes, I have. It's one of the most fun things I ever do. Lots of slinging stuff on the channel. Visionary thought it was 30. Yeah, it does look a lot. It does look a lot closer than it actually is, for sure. But yeah, no. It's 20 yards. It's about 10 feet. All right. Think what you want to think. I can't help you. I can't help you with that. It's about 6 times further than you think. Yeah, I can't help that one. You throw and shoot a little smoother when you're a little smoked, maybe the distraction. Try practicing. Yeah, no, as I said, I've said it many times throughout the live. I shoot a lot better when I'm not distracted from the live, actually. It's not like a huge difference, but it's a decent difference. I'm 18, so birthday's in April, so I'm like 18 and a half or so. Different for everyone. Find a mental place to push out the world. Yeah, no, I do a lot better shot with that, or a lot better job with that when I'm not on live. But hey, I still like to enjoy the process with you guys. It's not that hard to make it look so hard. Well, maybe we can get you on here. Maybe you're the new Atlatl Pro of the world. But no, I mean, it's not easy, but it's just like throwing a football. That target's about yay big. So it's like trying to hit a football with that from 60 feet. So yeah, I mean, it's not like the hardest thing ever, but we were right there. It's different than throwing to a receiver. It's like hitting a dinner plate or so. So whole different deal, all that sort of stuff. Especially from 10 feet. All right. This guy's just messing. I'm 18, my birthday's April 11th. Yeah, I am 18, my birthday's April 7th, 10 to 15 feet. I don't know how to help you. It's definitely just about 60 feet. I can't help you. Yeah, just ignore it. I find it funny. He's not bothering me. I find it funny. Cause like there's people who try and troll, and then there's people who try and troll, and you're like, okay, it's not even close. So yeah, no. SP France, I'm not worried about it. I am just I think it's funny. Alright guys, well, let me grab my stuff here real quick. Let me get the sweatshirt back on just so I don't have to carry it. And then we'll grab all the stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Grab all the stuff, get working back to the house, which is just up the hill over there. And then, oh boy, can't get the sweatshirt on. There we go. Then when we're up at the house, pack a couple things up and close out the live then. This was a good live. Got a lot of subscribers. Some good watch time, I imagine. Ugh. Ow. That hurt. Knitting lines team. I don't know what's a knitting line. Hey, Stuart's there. I think you were in here earlier, and I might not have said hi, Stuart. Sorry if I missed you. My mom has Hot Pockets waiting on me. That'd be cool. Hot Pockets are decent. I live free 10 out of 10. I just wish I was here for the full live. There you go. I appreciate it. I'm glad some people are enjoying it. Yeah, 1.06. Thank you guys. That is awesome. I just passed 1,000 yesterday, and now we're 60 over that. That's pretty sweet. Now, I love my parents. So go Bucks. Oh my gosh. No. Whether you're talking about Milwaukee or the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm an Eagles guy. I'm not a big Sixers guy. My girlfriend's a big Sixers girl, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. I highly value my parents, so you might be making a joke saying Mom's got Hot Pockets up there, but that'd be a good day for me. I like my parents quite a bit. They're great people. I commute to college. I'm glad I get to still see them, and Hot Pockets are a good deal. All right, let me go grab the we'll come back for the Target stuff. I'll grab this. Just hit the bell. See you next time. Ohio State. Oh my goodness. Well, Penn State hasn't been doing much in terms of football. They fired James Franklin, which I wanted them to do for a couple years. So we're on the right path. I was not a Franklin fan, but maybe we're on the right path now. You guys, Ohio State's probably going to smoke us. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Ohio State's going to smoke us, but that's fine. We're on the right path because we don't have Franklin anymore. Do I have any siblings? I have a younger sister. She's pretty awesome. All right, let's grab the bow, and we'll grab the Atlatl target walk up there. Next week, who do we play this week? I don't know. Atlatl target. See here, this is how big it is. Not that big, for anybody wondering. It's good size. It's like 1.5 feet wide. Next week, I wonder who Penn State plays this week. I go to Penn State Berks, for anyone wondering. So I'm a Penn State student, mechanical engineering student, if you were wondering. Just had all my midterms. 2 of them got graded so far, did well on both of those. And then took one yesterday and one today, and neither of those are graded yet. But we'll see how those go as well. SP France says you earned a sub, seemed like a solid dude. Well, thank you. I try my best. People may not like me, but if some people find value in the things I say, the things I do, then I'm on the right path, in my mind. I just like to be helpful. All right. Oh, my dad's got the car in there. So, given that information, we're just gonna cut the live here. All right, guys. Well, I appreciated it. This was an awesome live. Had a lot of people in here, a lot of interaction. Some good, a lot good, some bad. Sorry for the wind, but hey, that's how lives go. Just got to take it in stride, and I appreciate everybody who came in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a good one. I'll be putting out some more content here soon. Don't know when the next time I'll be live is, but yeah, everyone, have a good day. Yeah, I hope to see all you new faces around in the future. Thanks for stopping in, everyone. See you later.